The race between Republican candidate Dan Cox and Democrat Wes Moore, it's getting a little testy. Now Cox is demanding that state school officials remove a book written by his opponent from classrooms, libraries, and reading lists, claiming Moore is misleading voters about his background. Well, Moore stands by that book. Here's Scott Broom in Baltimore.
This controversy is over a book by the Democrat running for Maryland governor entitled The Other Wes Moore. The book is a contrast to the young lives of Moore, a Rhodes Scholar and Afghanistan war veteran, and another man with the same name from Baltimore, who's serving a life sentence after being convicted of the murder of a police officer. The introduction reads, "This is the story of two boys from Baltimore with similar histories and an identical name." But Moore, the governor's candidate, grew up in Tacoma Park and the Bronx, New York, and was away at military school when his single mom moved to a Baltimore suburb. He became a Baltimore resident while in college at Johns Hopkins University. Moore explains all this in the text of the book and on a campaign website designed to respond to the controversy.
That it's inappropriate.
Today, Republican opponent for Governor Dan Cox turned up the heat by appearing at Baltimore City School headquarters to demand that the book be taken out of city schools.
It's inappropriate to be presenting material that is really fictional campaign material as part of a curriculum, particularly this fall.
Cox was joined by Darren Muhammad, the uncle of the other Wes Moore, who's in prison.
And the book was based on lies. The book starts off saying essentially that this is the story of two boys that grew up in Baltimore, and nothing could be further from the truth.
Muhammad said his family was exploited by the book. According to reporting by Baltimore TV station Fox 45, Baltimore City Schools has paid more than $15,000 for copies of the book and made it required reading for ninth graders. City schools have not yet responded to Cox's demand to remove the book from schools. Moore's campaign responded today saying, quote, "This is a desperate attempt to distract from today's poll results that show Dan Cox's values are dangerously out of step with Maryland families by doing what Dan Cox does best, peddling baseless conspiracy theories." Moore has a 22-point lead over Cox, according to a new poll by Goucher College in Maryland. In Baltimore, Scott Broom, WUSA 9.